Nashia lava spasiero koshona visa para kiana. Pilaviana ekolojo moshava sopoko. Nimale vespeara elejo no kotukia leves mata. Mishinialo vajnoku. Asa teki ijana tovesa. Inala liano contori. Ajano toves pasera shnoko ya lava. Nalina lesbako toves pasa shanitikela. Inzato koshini vijamala. Aloves molto. Nashmirte ki ala zono sovas variational. Inalita veshmaki ala kunamala. Ajono to vespase ashalaki. Zono to onto. Kajina is zamasaparava. Lazino porovashamate e lajono to vespariki analita. Azane se vespasha lajonota. Pianorama atapeki. Sashano kulivis masa. Ajono to veki moromala harakiala. Navi levi su poco ne alva sapa kashanato. Asina zabalu vershano kolieva mala. Yashuma kalin do isparki separashana ki leva pakena niato. Uma alisha enko ama aleves ba ashako amako. Pli ija inina nene pakwala bada. Lazima soto shami itavaka. Mi va nono alava tua shana kirinte vispasha. Mashu kwahana. Elo shokote vispasha kaina. Nija katuki masof shahab. Good love, good light, and good now, illuminators and way showers. It's a joy to share this now moment with all of you. Thank you for joining me. If you're new, I'm Wendy, sharing my highest expressions of consciousness in all different kinds of ways. And today I'm inspired simply by this beautiful day. We're coming off of the cold moon, which is funny because I'm celebrating this beautiful warm day. It's about middle 60s today, so we're very excited to. I've been outside as much as I can be today, and we've just started a fire. The sun's going down, and I was once again inspired. Dave and I, my husband Dave, there he is over my shoulder. He was doing some reading for me and some researching, and one of the things I get inspired about when I'm out here is really combining the elements, combining all of my joys. And I'm celebrating right now the sign of Sagittarius. So I'm looking at the sun, thinking about, happy birthday, all you fellow Sagittarians. Whether you're in November, Sagittarian like me, I'm the 28th of November, or you're a Sagittarius now, now or upcoming to the December 23rd. And so I was thinking about that, about fire and fire signs. And how I was marveling at the, the fire of the sun setting and starting the fire and the smell of it. And once again, my deep appreciation for the trees and wood and being surrounded out here by all of that and being so grateful for this absolutely gorgeous day. And so I'm very grateful to have these breaks in the cold. So there we are celebrating this cold moon, and I hadn't had a chance to do a moon video as far as I wanted to pull a couple moon cards, see what messages were for us for the full moon. And I also wanted to celebrate the idea of flowers. So one of the things I love to do, and in a myriad of ways, is celebrate flowers. And it's not just about summer. It's about, we use flowers to celebrate everything all year. And I'm always inspired to celebrate the flowers myself all year. So I gathered a couple of oracle decks because I like to see what other inspiration we can find from, sorry about the, everyone's coming home. It's the end of the day, so it's kind of loud up here now that the leaves are gone on the trees. With the roads, so sorry about that. But so as the full moon and the flowers, I was thinking about the flowers and how we, no matter what time of year it is, we celebrate birthdays with flowers. We celebrate all of the main holidays, holy days. We use flowers. When we want to express our love or appreciation to someone, we use flowers all year long. So it's not just in the warm months. And so I'm always inspired to bring through information and through the oracle cards. And I was inspired to get a couple of oracle decks to celebrate them. And one of the ones that I've been sharing a little bit in is, so this actually pertains to the November Sagittarian. So for those of you born in November, the chrysanthemum, like me, and I've kind of got that same kind of color. I like the color scheme also. And of course we know that the chrysanthemums come in other shades as well. And this particular card in this deck represents number 26, longevity, the white chrysanthemum. And you can still see the white and the yellow tips, of course. And according to the book, and this is from the Language of Flowers Oracle, the meaning is growing with wisdom, grace, and honor, as well as a sign that what you are focused on at present has the capacity for longevity and success, and could even create a lasting legacy. A change in the environment and atmosphere around family and close relationships for the better, and a windfall, increase in income or gift are all also possible. Time for long-term goal setting and planning and putting down roots, whatever that means to you. So I love that message for me and all of us, for that idea of whatever it is that we're focusing on right now has the potential for long-lasting longevity. And that's with anything that we're excited to focus on. So I wanted to just leave it at that message. And how does that apply to you? And once again, I'm going to show you the colors on here. That temple, that idea of your own inner temple in the background. The legacy. And when I think about legacy and the respect that everything is now, I always think, how do I want to be remembered right now? What is it? What message do I want to leave? And how do I want to present myself in my environment? And how do I want to leave that environment in this now? What longevity of energy do I want to express and sort of leave behind?
You often talk about the colors that you see on the cards that you're reading. What's the relevance with the colors?
Well, when I see the relevance of the colors, to me, it's also a mixture of the identifying. Well, I don't want to say identifying. It's harmonizing with the specific colors that may represent what messages for you, the vibration and the harmony of the colors. The frequency of the colors has a great deal to do with the message. For example, the chakras. How does it relate to the chakras? How do the colors make you feel? How does certain colored flowers make you feel? When I look at the colors on the cards, I'm also seeing the vibration of the part of the message that I want to say the creator of the card, the author, the artist of the card is bringing through in this message of how these colors may also relate to your idea or their idea of longevity. And how do each one of these colors in the cards represent whatever chakra in that moment? And I've obviously, you see in here, the concentration of the colors here. And not only what's there, but what's not there. Because what's not there is present in other cards for a very vibrational reason. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does.
Oh, good.
Why, thank you.
Why, you're welcome. That's actually a very great question. And I'm going to, before I have Dave share. Did you? Oh no! I'm sorry. I did find something. I did, didn't I? I told him. I said, wait. I found it. Okay. So the next thing I wanted to share with you was, as I'm sitting out here and I'm thinking about the full moon, and the fire's going, and I'm shuffling the cards, and this is the Moonology deck, and let the moon be your guide. So I was literally asking the moon, asking my guides, what moon messages come through today. And I'm looking at the fire and I'm thinking about all this, and I pull the deck out, and the first card that I turned over, a fiery climax approaches. Full moon in Aries. So there we have literally a full moon card. And I'm not even sure which this full moon, what sign this last full moon was in, but nonetheless, I was okay, a fiery climax. So there I am looking at the fire and the smoke's rising from the fire, and I just had to laugh at once again the synchronicity of that. So a fiery climax approaches, and I've been going through a lot of emotions, a lot of realizations, a lot of there's the owl again. I hear the owl again. A lot of introspection and expansion. And so I think here we go, a fiery climax, and this idea of illumination and expansion has been deep within me, in my energy. And it's interesting that you asked about the color too, Dave, because so as we celebrate the flowers, once again, for the months of each month. Oh, and what I wanted to share, oh my gosh, that I left out. I didn't want to be remiss in that. This is from an artist. These are from an artist. This is not my art. These are from an artist that I purchased these cards local at a like an outdoor market fair. Yes, an art fair. And anyway, she's just a lovely local artist, and I will put her name. Actually, I'll put her link in. And I don't know if she ships or anything like that. But I just wanted to share that is not my art, it's her art, and I will put her link there. So when I saw these cards, because she did one for every month for the birth, for what the card of the month for every month, and I was excited that there was one for each one. And so that actually, buying these cards from her were what inspired me to buy these oracle decks, to see what messages come through with the appropriate month and that the message for that flower for that month. And I don't even know where did that come from, that these specific flowers represent each month. I think that's something that might be exciting for somebody to look into. However, the idea is, what energy do we want to represent and express and receive from this idea of the daffodil for December, the narcissus?
I'm coming
Oh,
forward.
here he comes. And so I was looking through the decks, and so anyway, that's what inspired me to even get these decks, is from this young lady's artwork. So what a beautiful synchronicity. And the funny thing is about that too, is that night, it was the last, like we were at the very end of the market. It was at the very last, it was like the very last table that I saw. And I just love flowers, and Dave and I love flowers, and so I was so intrigued by these. And
it was a young girl who was the artist that
Yes.
was there with her family supporting her.
yes, it was so nice. And she said her mom helps her package them. Here is the little package that I got them in. And it's called, actually it's so cute, it's called Take Note. And I'll put the link there, but that way you guys can see it on the screen. Take Note, isn't that cute? And this is how they came, and they're just one, little cards, note cards. But I decided, instead of mailing them, I framed the ones for our birthdays, and then I was actually going to probably give these out as gifts to those to the ones that I had left. So that was kind of what was in my head.
So it's interesting. Something I found on the narcissus.
It's narcissus. Yeah.
But as we as humans have gone through exploring the ideas of polarity, and the idea that you get to assign meaning, and both polarities always exist. You can't have one without the other. Narcissist is sometimes called the god of vanity because he became obsessed with his reflection. The mental disorder narcissism.
Is that spelled the same?
Yes. Is named after the Greek myth of Narcissus. So, oddly, but I'm reading this and I'm thinking he was obsessed with his reflection. And as we expand our consciousness and awareness, we discover that everything is a reflection. And in lower energetic times, when you're exploring the negative polarities of these ideas, you come up with this whole story about being obsessed with your reflection and becoming a narcissist and all that other stuff. But actually, the exploration of the idea that everything is a reflection is actually a spiritual awakening idea.
It's true.
And so people who were seeing in this time, in ancient Greece, where certainly a lot of people were, number one, studying these kinds of things and coming from a time that wasn't that far from when there was a lot more enlightenment in the world, and it was more toward a more forgetful stage. People that found out about these things came up with the negative ideas of the polarity, as opposed to embracing the positive ideas of the polarity. And I think this is also a reflection of the idea that we're coming full circle again.
Certainly.
And remembering what the positive spins are on all these ideas. And, funny that there's a connection.
Well, and that's what we're all doing, isn't it? Those of us who want to share our own spiritual joys and polarities, and showing that we're moving. It takes less individuals to move an entire collective consciousness into a more positive state of being. And I think everybody who shares this kind of information, that's really my highest joy, is simply to raise the vibration of the human collective consciousness, that we all live a more harmonious life. Meaning, how do I see polarity now from a different perspective? How is it that I don't see it as, from a victim standpoint? And as Dave said, looking at it from, okay, how can I now learn and grow from this? Because by learning and growing from this, we move the entire collective consciousness into a higher frequency, in which that being more ourselves and understanding that being more of ourselves is the reflection that we are looking for.
And sort of like the idea behind the yin yang symbol, where no matter where you are, there's always that glint of light allowing you to get out of the darkness. So no matter how far deep you are in the darkness, there's that shimmer of light.
Well,
and it's funny because in this case, for example, if you just look at the understandings people have about things, the negative perspective is by far so minimal in comparison to the positive perspective. Because, I mean, we have flowers that are named narcissus. Most cultures celebrate the narcissus flower as a symbol of hope and joy.
Because it is.
Love, and, I mean, I'm just reading through all these things. It's right in front of our eyes.
It always is.
And the idea that someone is so focused on the negative, they don't see that. And it only takes a little glimmer of light to say, wait a second, there's a whole different way of looking at this. And you get to choose. And
it only takes, that's why I lit the candle.
All
it
over.
Only takes one little light to illuminate an entire, not only room, but you can see a light from miles away. Miles away. Even the flowers are an absolute reflection of us. Everything we see is an absolute reflection of us in one layer or another. I'm going to show the card too. Daffodil, perception. Perception. Changing our perception. Isn't that what a synchronicity? Changing our perception. These magnificent heralds of spring are literally trumpeting the joy and freedom of learning to be yourself. Really? Okay. Daffodil wants you to see the light, to perceive the beauty and perfection and wholeness that is you, just as you are. It's time to release any self-doubt and revel in the freedom and weightlessness of endless possibilities.
So as Bashar would say, if you're feeling like your baggage is too heavy, it's not your baggage. Your baggage is never heavy.
And there's just how much, even this card right now resonates with the books that we're reading right now. I'm in such a high vibration right now with so many, just so many realizations and openings. And so the idea of when we understand that when we're in the now, we're in that vibration of endless possibilities. In literally, and we've heard this, and others share this message of infinite possibilities. Just like the said, when we're in that state, we are literally in the vibration of endless possibilities. If we even remember that when we're looking at a flower. Oh, and the other thing is December, the other flower is hollies.
Poking the fire.
We have holly bushes all the way around this house. And while they're, that's a really good example of polarity, the holly bush. They're green all the time. They're beautiful. They grow like crazy. They have these beautiful red berries. So you've got the red and green from the berries, and that's what grows here in this part of the country at this time of year, and that contrast also of they are so sharp. The edges are so sharp. It's like I find them challenging even to be in the garden, because there's that polarity of they're so pretty and they're so green and the beautiful berries, and yet they are so spiny and prickly. They're really hard to deal with. So interesting I love that idea of talking about polarity, and that of using the holly also as another flower that represents December, as that. And actually, I didn't even look in here to see if the holly was in the book. Hang on, I'll check. And I was reminded too that everybody has a little bit of every sign in them. So every month, or everything that we use to celebrate a star sign, a sun sign, moon sign, rising sign, each of us has a little bit of all these, a mixture. And when we came here, we decided when we wanted to be reborn, where we could reflect these different colors and energies, and how much and where and how, depending what our theme we chose. And so I've always felt that idea of, the fire, the burning energy for creating things, travel, adventure, philosophy, learning, higher wisdom, nature. So I express those ideas, and then you bring in the idea of the energy of fire and the element of fire, and how each of us chose different, planets to be in position when we were born. Dave happens to be, 5 Virgo, 5 planets in Virgo. So it was like when he was born, so major earth energy. And I've got 2 fire signs, Sagittarius and Leo. So, and then Taurus, the earth energy. So I've got that burning energy and wanting to explore not only the earth, but beyond the earth and beyond the stars. So I was just reminded that each of us has little pieces of that puzzle. I did look in my books, and the holly is not in there, but Dave was so kind to go pick a piece for me. So if any of you have never seen a holly up close, they're very, very sharp, very prickly. I don't even really, as you can see, I touch it quite gingerly, because these are extremely sharp. But happy birthday to anybody who, any December babies named Holly. I actually have a friend named Holly. So hi, Holly. Whether you're listening or not, sending you love. So I do know that quite a few people have been named Holly, being born in December. So I wanted to just kind of throw that out there. Did you find something, Dave?
In Celtic mythology, the holly is said
Celtic?
to symbolize
Celtic.
Symbolizes peace and goodwill.
Peace and goodwill.
It is also regarded as a symbol of fertility and eternal life.
Longevity, fertility, and eternal life. Longevity. Well, I've got this stuff growing all around my house, so we've got I guess there's a lot of good energy. And some of them are really tall. Anything else? Anything else you want to share?
It has resistance to lightning. And
Really?
It's associated with the god of thunder, Thor.
Ooh.
And it was planted near dwellings to protect people from lightning.
Oh.
Well, maybe that's a good
Who
reason to keep
knew?
them.
Maybe that's a good. Yeah, maybe that's a good reason to keep them around. Well,
It
I did not know that.
It is a protective plant.
Well, it certainly is, and that's what we were talking about the. Now you can see the polarity and how see all of the virtues that it has, like the rose. Let's think about that. But the rose, and I'm deeply connected to that energy, that vibration of the rose. I always have been, and it has been prominent in my reality over and over and over again. And of course, we know that most roses have thorns. So isn't that interesting? Yeah, these are very what I want to say, they're strong, they're hardy. They are definitely what I would say a good protective, if you want to look at that as protective, protective energy. But wow, protection from lightning. Well, how about that? I like that idea.
Bringing leaves inside the winter months would provide shelter from the cold for fairies, who in return would be kind to those who lived in the dwelling.
Oh. Okay, you guys, I'm going to cut some of this and I'm going to bring it up into my pink fairy palace, and we're going to use it to honor the fairies, and we'll do some card readings, some fairy card readings, and I'm pretty excited about that. So see how inspiring that was for me. That's awesome.
They bathed newborn babies by bathe them in the water from the leaves.
Really?
Some kind of
and there's the owl.
Protection kind of ceremony.
Oh wow. Wow, that's so awesome.
And the holly wreaths were worn as a crown by Celtic chieftains. And of course, the holly tree's abundance of spiked leaves are a great spot for garden birds to safely make their nests, providing a natural protection from predators.
Well, that is true. We actually have a lot of bird nests in all of our holly trees and all of the holly and the other bushes here. So I will say that that's true too. They actually do house a lot of birds. So
and there are male and female holly trees.
Oh, I see. Okay. Does one have the red berries and one do not?
Male holly trees have pale yellow flowers and the females are white.
Oh, okay. I'll have to pay attention then when we.
So typically, if you're growing a holly tree, usually you don't just grow one. And I don't remember, but I think one may become male and one may become female.
Oh, okay.
But you should never have just one.
Oh, well, that's good to know. You can never just have just one. I'm gonna grab a card out of the Queen of the Moon Oracle, because of course I'm still, we're all still deep in that full moon energy.
Protection, fertility, and rebirth.
Protection, fertility, and rebirth. And remember, a fiery climax. A fiery climax approaches. I love it.
Shall I throw our branch in the fire?
Certainly. And we'll send our.
See what it smells like.
We'll send our good vibes off into the smoke, into the ethers. Oh, I love that when I can hear the owl. Oh, it's popping. Oh, it just got done. Oh, there's a piece there, right there, that didn't burn yet. So we invite in this fire and the burning of the holly branch that we all send and receive the beautiful essences and purposes and intentions of this teaching plant. Levis mashero konzaves baisha kanakotuko kazina jefeshanatia alazunos of espaka kintoya aja tayana kito sopashaniat. Nesmia sharka sino tavashaki elezuno palavasmatia koluna malavaka. Nashimia la sopokosea ishaku. Vizame sivis bashariki ina ijadokorikis masala. Alijanutivis baka alizomoru. Metavikiana ejatokori sata kai eja naiana mala. Mukua shuroko haiteke. Simashaki antavis bashoko. Unishetia kalishanaha. Neseo shakwaya. Nezime sevishe miaba koana. Nashotuya. Blessings send and receive from the north, the south, the east, and the west, and the elements. Elevashami elavakania to asa. Sana, fire, water, earth, air, ether. What is your burning desire? What is your burning passion? What are you passionate about being passionate about? It's time to set that free. Beshati Jaja Kaniti. The Vismasa Vasvarayashana. It's time to ignite that fire within you. And the energy of the Sagittarian symbol of the half man, half horse, half human, half horse, sending the arrows deep into consciousness. Free. Freeing. Where are you ready to set fire to that focus? That place inside your center, your sun, your fire inside of you. And this includes every single color of your chakras, every color. For you to be you. Release all your colors. Okay, everybody, so let's see what the Queen of the Moon Oracle has to share. And I send gratitude, thanks to all of our guides. Oh, here with us tonight, today, this now, for all of us. Acceptance, number 4. Acceptance. Complete acceptance that we create our own reality, that we accept ourselves for exactly who we are. And by doing so, we accept every single thing. And when we accept every single thing as being perfect in the perfect now, such as everything, flowers, nature, we look out and we see all of this perfection in nature and animals and our own animal companions, and we see the perfection in the imperfection of everything around us. It is time to accept that is that of ourselves. Accept your perfection and accept the unique imperfection of your perfection. And I was reminded today about that idea of perfection, that everything is a perfect representation of that moment. So everything is perfect in that moment. Everything is a perfect representation of the vibration that we're putting out. Accepting and understanding that is the key. Acceptance of self is an acceptance of all is the key to peace, confidence, self-love, harmony, joy. Would you like to share, Dave? Anything?
Nope, I think you said it all.
I did. Okay. Yes, as always, in grace, gratitude, honor, and appreciation. That we share this now moment. My love, Miyasha Kintia, of all the multidimensional me's.
Love you.
Love you.